Thank you. All right. Oh gosh, not sure. Can everyone see that?
We can.
You can? Okay, great.
It's not in
right.
present mode yet, though.
Oh no. Okay, I'm not sure why. Not sure why.
Maybe refresh the page.
For some reason, it's not letting me have. Yeah, here. Let me. Sorry about this. Let me stop, and then I'll try that one more time. Yeah, for some reason my doesn't look like my internet's really up on Chrome right now. Is there someone else on the team that would mind sharing this? I don't think this is working too well for me on my laptop.
I can share. Let me try.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Yeah, 1 second. Can you guys see that? Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Priscilla. Sorry about that. All right, so we are the musical team, and we just hosted this past Friday night the musical with a writers panel afterwards. So now I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what we did for our project. Essentially, we organized and then executed the third annual virtual musical for the ArtsFuse magazine. The past few times that this has been held, it has been in person, and this was the first time that ArtsFuse has attempted some kind of virtual format. So Zoom was involved this time around, but we think that we were able to pull it off pretty nicely. A lot was involved in order to put this together, including recruiting the artists, organizing a program, working on advertising, and then, of course, as I mentioned, figuring out this new aspect of Zoom and all this technology that would now be involved due to the COVID-19 pandemic currently. And essentially, there were two main goals of this project. We wanted this to be a benefit for ArtsViews so that people could donate to ArtsViews magazine as well as learn about it, and then also to provide some kind of showcase of local musical talent to brighten up everyone's days, and also in order to support the artists who have been struggling again as a result of this pandemic.
So here we have a general overview of our project timeline. So we wanted to confirm the event platform that we were using early on so that we don't run into any technological issues later as we are preparing to advertise the event. So this included us doing some research on which virtual platform would be best, like Zoom or WebEx or any other platform. And then next, we wanted to confirm the artists that would be performing for our show. So this changed a little bit as we progressed through the semester because originally we planned to only have 1 or 2 artists and have the rest of the show be an awards show where ArtsViews critics are able to give awards to artists who they were able to review this year. But in the middle of the semester, we decided that it would be better to just have it as a performance show. So we had to set back our deadline for the artist videos. So originally they were supposed to be on November 13th along with confirming the artist, but we ended up setting this deadline back so that we could reach out to some more people and give them enough time to get their videos to us. And then after we had all of these artist videos, we sent this program list to our hosts so that we could get their videos narrating the entire event. And we also included some sponsor videos in between to really promote the arts views. And finally, we decided for our event to be taking place on December 4th. And this is a good date because it gave us a lot of time to really put everything together and get as many artists and sponsors as possible for our event. And is Jackie here?
I don't think I see him.
I don't see him, Prasida.
Yeah, I don't think he's here.
Okay, well, I guess I could, yeah, whoever really on the team would like to jump in on this side, but Jackie was mainly responsible for kind of tackling this issue of how do we host a musical virtually in the middle of this pandemic, and he eventually decided that Zoom would probably be the best option. He did a lot of research into alternative options that maybe would be better, especially for music. But at the end of the day, Zoom was the best choice. It was user friendly. We've all been using it for classes this semester, and we feel that a lot of people have been using this for like jobs or what have you, really in their lives. It seems like Zoom is the most popular choice right now. And it also has that recording feature, so that we were able to record the writers panel afterwards. And just in case Zoom fell through for any reason, he found this site called Cisco WebEx that also could have been used if for any reason we ran into issues with Zoom. And then now we're going to talk a little bit about the artist outreach. So I was primarily responsible for contacting the artists, talking to them, recruiting them. And originally, as Prasida did mention, we were aiming for about 1 to 2 artists because the rest of the musical was going to be an arts event. And our original goal was to have a wide range of not only music, but people of color, women, just any kind of sort of diversity. And so we did end up reaching out to a recent Berkeley graduate who was a person of color, a woman, and we had a few more queued up to reach out to. But then about halfway through the semester, we did kind of have a change in plans when this event was going to be more meant to be a type of benefit rather than this awards show. And instead, we wanted people more affiliated with the arts views. And we also ran into an issue with compensating the artists. So at the end of the day, it ended up being 3 artists who have had previous experience with arts views. Ryan Lee Crosby, Clifton Hicks, and Laszlo Gardoni. And they all performed for us for a musical, and they were really, really wonderful. And then finally, this is just a sample of an artist of an artist email that I sent out.
So in order to make sure that we were able to fulfill all of our goals in the musical while also integrating this with the other efforts in our class, we collaborated with the social media team and the fundraising team. So with the social media team, we coordinated the advertisement for the musical. We made our own event poster, but then the social media team also took that on and made many posts about the upcoming musical on Instagram, with many posts about the various artists that were going to be performing. So we really were able to get this event advertised thanks to their help. And then we also collaborated with the fundraising team. We were told by Bill that the fundraising team is collecting testimonials from various arts view sponsors. And we thought this would be a great thing to integrate into our own event because it could really promote the arts views a little bit more. So we reached out to the fundraising team and they were kind enough to share their testimonials with us, and we were able to incorporate these videos into our musical as well.
So I was primarily in charge for the advertising of the event, and I'll just talk about the Eventbrite and then kind of how we collaborated with the social media team. So just looking at the image on the left side of the screen, that's the cover page for how the Eventbrite for the event looked. On this Eventbrite link, we had an option for people to purchase free tickets to the event. And then if you went inside your purchase tickets, there was a direct link to the YouTube premiere so that people didn't have to go through the Facebook page and then get lost and everything. You could just go directly through Eventbrite on the day of the event. Additionally, we had an external link guiding people to the donation page on the ArtsViews website in case they wanted to, donate before the event. We also had the links pasted in the description of the YouTube premiere, but this was just a way if people wanted to, another way to advertise to donate to ArtsViews. And then we also did have a link to the live Zoom Q&A panel. And as mentioned before, we had a little bit of trouble guiding people to that Zoom panel, but we were able to, during the event, just quickly put it in the chat box of the YouTube video. And then additionally, in this Eventbrite, we had a description of what the event was going to look like, who was playing, and we had pictures of all the artists. Now on the right side of the screen, if we could go back to the previous slide. Yeah, the right side of the screen had, this is the poster that we sent to the social media team. It was basically just a colorful way to just advertise for the event. And they took this poster and advertised it on ArtsView social media, like Instagram, Facebook. They also did a few more posts talking about the artists specifically. And then we also were able to send this poster to each of the the performing artists, and they were able to promote on their individual social medias as well for their own audiences to come. And both this poster and the Eventbrite link were shared with our client just to make sure that, our products were aligning with the expectations of the event. And then if we could go to the next slide, I'll go into a little bit more of the analytics of the actual event. So if you look at this graph on the top left, we set like a cap of 200 tickets, and out of those 41 were purchased before the event. This doesn't mean that 41 people, like only 41 people viewed the event, because as we mentioned before, it's still available for viewing and people were able to watch it even after the event was premiered. But before the day of the event, 41 tickets were purchased. And obviously people were able to watch the event without purchasing a ticket also. But on the top right, you can see that out of all the ticket buyers, top city was Allston. And then if you look at the bottom, there is this graph which says 95% of the tickets purchased were from organizer channels versus 5% were from Eventbrite channels. And what this means is out of the 41 tickets, 39 of those tickets were through our advertising, our platforms, our Facebook. And then 2 of the tickets were from Eventbrite promotional emails or stuff like that. And then we could go to the next page. Yes, and more graphs. So the top graph talks about how the ticket purchasing distribution kind of played out. And if you look, starting from November 28th, people started buying tickets, but there's a very clear spike on December 4th, which was the day of the event. And then in the bottom chart, this shows how many times that our Eventbrite page was clicked on. So we had a total of 359 page views. And out of that, 301 were from direct, like our links that we advertised. So people saw our link on Facebook or through somebody's Instagram bio or something, clicked on it. And then 51 were out of people searching up something related to ArtsViews or a Fusical or a music event. And then they found our event through that. And then 7 people were able to find our Eventbrite page through some Eventbrite promotional emails. So if you're subscribed to Eventbrite or something, they'll send you a promotional email saying, these are the events we have aligned for the week, if you want to see anything online. And 7 people were able to find our event through that platform.
So I took care of editing and uploading the actual event to YouTube. So we had the artists send in their footage, and so I had to make his dedicated email address and YouTube channel for the arts views, and so I had it set up with. I didn't get to have the channel banner, but I had the channel icon and all the associated social media links and the about page bio filled out. And I had to had it verified because you can't upload videos longer than 15 minutes without having it verified. So I had that done. And in order to have a sort of virtual concert, of course, instead of hosting it purely on Zoom, we found that in order to have the best auditory and visual fidelity, we decided to have it on YouTube. So we were going to host most of the main event itself there with the premiere section so that it'd be more of an event instead of it just being a simple upload. Yeah, so you can go to the next slide. And now this was from yesterday, so it's not accurate to date, but in total we had around 200 viewers, as you probably discussed, and around 30 hours in watch time, and apparently 4 subscribers. So, and we have additional traffic sources on the right. Go to the next slide. So for the click-through rate, there it shows that around 40% were able to view what we had there. We have the thumbnail on the left, which I had to make myself and as well. And apparently YouTube has an above 100% rate for viewership. So amongst unique viewers, we had around more than 100. Views itself was doubled, so it would appear people viewed it more than once. Go to the next slide. And we have some traffic that we had in particular. So around a 10th came from YouTube searches for things like Fusical and other features, but it would appear that more than half came from external links and things like that. And you can move to the next slide. And this is the dedicated breakdown for all external traffic. So we had like a quarter coming from Patreon, which I'm assuming is from the artists, where they posted that there, and Facebook, YouTube, Eventbrite, and Facebook Messenger. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
All right. After the event on the YouTube live stream of the Fusical, we invited viewers to join the Zoom link. And originally, we did not plan to host a live panel, but after meeting with Bill and Deanna, we thought it would be a really good idea to introduce audience interaction with the event. And so we decided, I guess we decided a few weeks before the event that we're going to have a Zoom link set up for a discussion with the writers from the Art Views. Originally, we were supposed to have a discussion with members, artists of the event, but we later find out that some of the artists weren't able to meet during the Zoom event. And so we end up deciding that we should meet with the critics since they were able to come. Viewers were very encouraged to submit any questions regarding to the art views in general in the chat during the YouTube live stream, as well as during this live panel. And we read many of these questions out loud to the panelists and then expressed what they thought about the topics. Here in the bottom right, we had like a screenshot of, I guess, a part of time when we were discussing. I think that during this question, we were talking about the importance of like discovering new artists during pandemic. And I think I also, well, it's not like I think. I know that I also recorded the majority of the live Zoom panel. So if you were wondering about some of the questions that were asked about, you can ask me for them. and I could share that live Zoom panel with you guys. Some of the most important topics that we discussed during that panel was the importance of arts criticism, discovering new artists during the pandemic, arts in our environment. This one was a very a particular important topic. Someone in their chat asked us environmental question, and one of our ArtsFuse writers went out and really cared about this particular question and strived to send a message that we should really care for the environment. And finally, the last topic that we discussed about was the diversification of arts criticism. Yeah.
And so through this process of organizing the physical, our team was able to use our skills and also learn many other skills, such as how to operate video chat platforms, promote events through Eventbrite, record and put together videos. And we also worked on our communication skills to produce this event. And we believe that our event was very successful in providing a platform for artists during this time where there's such a deprivation of live shows and audiences. And through our event, we were able to not only promote the ArtsFuse, provide this platform, and also provide a discussion afterwards where people could really talk about some topics related to the ArtsFuse or to the arts that were really important to them and that they wanted discussed. And through this process, we were also able to collaborate and build our team building skills within our own group and with the other groups of our classroom, and then also with the artists that we worked with and our host and Bill. And through all of these experiences, we were really able to create a well-rounded event. And finally, in terms of recommendations, we believe that a lot of the decisions we ended up making ran very smoothly. So the pre-recorded event, for example, was a very good idea because we didn't have any last minute issues with any artists or the host or anything like that. We knew exactly what we were going to be delivering on the 4th, which was a very good idea. And we also really enjoyed the discussion that we had afterwards. And one recommendation that we have is to have more frequent live discussions with the ArtsFuse writers, because there were just so many great topics that were brought up, and this interaction between the readers and writers could be really beneficial for expanding the reach of the ArtsFuse. And so maybe a more focused discussion for specific topics within each discussion would be a great way for readers to be able to interact with the magazine better. And finally, in order to help people get the Zoom link and make sure that there isn't any confusion with that, we also suggest that we have an email listing that people can sign up for, where they can be sent Zoom links for a monthly discussion, for example, so that it's easy for people to access and no one is excluded because they weren't able to find the link. And that's all we have for today. Does anyone have any questions?
I think that was excellent, team. Thank you very much for all of your detail regarding your project this semester.